Thank you for CM Audio allowing us to host this spectacular event here. So allowing this opportunity to meet you guys. So thank you for coming. And before I start introducing the U2, let me talk about something about Lumin, who we are, what we do, and what we did in the past. So Lumin was a brand and belongs to a company called Pixel Magic Systems, which started around 14, 15 years ago. So Pixel Magic was very into the video business. We manufacture upscaler, deinterlacing devices, video processor, set up TV boxes. And it was around in 2010, we thought we can actually bring our technologies to the audiophile community. Because back then, a lot of audiophile audio manufacturing companies are actually focused on the hardware designs. Back then, there was no software needed, right? So we saw that opportunity and we started to develop our network streamer. In fact, it was the first network streamer which is capable of playing back DSD audio. So in 2012, we released the first network player called the A1. And over the years, we're now 10 years into the Lumin history. We brought out lots of other models, X1, L1, M1, T3, so on and so forth. We brought lots of new technologies and features to the community. And throughout the years, we've won numerous of awards from Hi-Fi Plus, Stereophile, TAS, you name it, Fidelity, all sorts of awards. And what makes Lumin really special and unique is we are one of the few companies which does everything under one roof. So we designed our own hardware, schematics, PCB, you name it. We also write our software, which runs inside the unit, and also the app that runs on your iPad, iPhone, or Android devices. So with this cohesive design approach, we are able to make our products very reliable. It works out of the box, and we can also bring out features quicker than some other manufacturers because we don't have to ask anyone to do anything for us. Matter of fact, we are one of the selected partners of MQA to become the first network streaming company to bring out this technology together with MQA a couple of years ago. So the U2. The U2 is the bigger brother compared to the U2 Mini. And what we did actually is we bring a lot of the technology that we learned from creating our flagship product like the X1 or the P1 down to the mainstream market. And we called it, with the T3 together, the Performance Suite Sport Duo. So in this price bracket, around 5,000 euros, if a customer would like a network streamer with a DAC, then they can go for the T3. If they don't need the DAC, they go for the U2. So, as I said, there are numerous new features to the U2, and we brought a lot of technology that we learned from the flagship down to this mainstream player. It features the same CNC chassis technology as the P1 and also the T3. So it's a 6 pieces CNC aluminum chassis. And also it has the newest and latest processor and architecture from the U2 Mini. And in fact, we actually rewritten the whole Lumin operation system just to migrate everything to this new architecture. And with this new architecture, we are able to provide much better upsampling and downsampling performance, and also maybe new features in the future. And we have the built-in linear power supply, which is a direct. We borrowed the design directly from the P1, so it features the same dual-stage linear regular power supply. And for the first time in Lumin range, we have one USB port dedicated for USB audio. So that port actually has a direct connection with our system processor without any USB chip or hubs or controller in between. So it has much lower noise and much lower latency. And of course, we brought the optical network function to the U2. So now you can actually use this as a network isolator for your audio system. So no noise from your network router or switches will affect the performance of your audio system. And of course, all the features that are available on the Lumin range will be available here. Roon, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, Tidal, Qobuz, AirPlay, tuning, all sorts. So, as I said, mentioned earlier, the chassis is made from solid pieces of aluminum from 6 parts and then joined together with screws. So a lot of details have been made in order to hide all the screws, and you've only got 3 joints exposed in this precision aluminum chassis. And the newest and latest processor from the U2 Mini with the double the internal memory and also quadrupled the processing power. So we are only using 1/4 of the processing power of this chip capability. So in the future, we can bring out a lot more features. For example, maybe equalizers or DSP functions to the Lumin family. And for the first time, we have a built-in linear power supply in the tiny chassis. So this is a direct descendant from the P1. It features the same regulators, same design architecture as the P1. So very high performance and low noise. And with the dual stage regulators on board of the main board, we have amazing audio performance. And these dual stage regulators are only dedicated to the audio circuitry on the board. So they have 1 dedicated USB port for the DAC and 2 USB port for your storage and also for the USB IR receiver if you intend to use the U2 with the Lumin remote. And last, dual network interface. One is normal Cat5, copper PHY, and the other one is an SFP. So with the built-in network switch, it's very versatile as well. So software features, as I mentioned, Roon, Tidal, Tidal Connect, Spotify, Qobuz, UPnP, MQA, AirPlay, Internet Radio, multi-room, lead volume processing, and also we are working with Spotify to bring out some exciting features in the future. So now, since last year, we have actually migrated the Lumin app to the M1 Silicon Mac platform. So you can actually buy a Mac and you can run Lumin app on it. So totally. So you can have a big giant screen at home, 60, 75 inches with the Mac Lumin app running. You can display the cover and also control it via wireless mouse and keyboards and so on. So the U2 sits in between the U2 Mini and the U1X. So the U1X is still the flagship and the biggest brother with the externals, X1 power supply, and the billet chassis. Okay, but the U1 sits in the middle in the price with the latest architecture and also some features that's not available on the U1X. So, but in terms of sound, the U1X is still the king for now.
May I ask a
Thank you.
question? What's the difference of the Lumin app running on a Mac versus running the app on an iPad? I mean, what's the advantage, or is it basically only transferring the stuff now?
The advantage of running the Lumin app on the Mac is you get a much bigger screen assets, and you can control the object size. So, for example,
The optic side.
yes. So I can
There are no additional functions.
functions across the whole platform in terms of Android, iOS, iPad, macOS is identical. Thank you for that. Actually, we rewritten the whole Android app 2 years ago. So Previously, we got a lot of complaints about an unstable app on Android. So 2 years ago, we actually rewrite the whole program, and now it's optimized and it's very stable at the moment. But in terms of function, all apps are identical, and the user interface as well. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, just please ask. I have also U2 board here. Oh, thank you. So this is the internal of the U2. So as you can see, the newest and greatest processor board and some other main components in there. So pass around and have a look. And the U2 is actually the first time premiere in Germany. So you guys have the front seat in this launch. Yeah. And we are very happy to work with LyraVox in this event. And in fact, we have been working together a couple of years ago in Munich, I think. Yeah. So this is great to be reunion in this kind of event. If you have any questions, I will be please.
One other one, because you mentioned you developed a new architecture.
Yeah.
And rewritten the software adapting
Yeah.
to that. Is that now transferring the X1 architecture basically to these?
In terms of processor,
or is it a complete new architecture?
In terms of the
What's the
processor,
advantage of this architecture for up and down scaling?
yeah, the X1 runs on the older generation processor. Now we migrate everything to the latest generation of ARM processor. So, but to do that, we have to completely rewrite every single piece of code that we used. So it's not better in a sense, but it's more future-proof in a sense. So we have more processing power left, more idle power to, for example, to integrate some complex computation may be needed for the future.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need me, I will be on the side. Then I'll give back to CM Audio. Thank you.